Welcome to another interesting episode of Space and Style. It's a television show designed to cater for all your real estate needs by providing you with trends, tips, and also engaging experts to discuss topical issues affecting the industry. My name is Olamide Onifadi, and on the show today we are going to talk to an industry expert in the world of insurance to discuss our topic, the intricacies of home insurance. We shall also share some interior design tips to keep you abreast of various trends in the interior design sphere. On the Property of the Week segment, we will also showcase a property that we hope to inspire you to join the real estate ladder if you have not done so. And lastly, the Artisan Spot, where we will be talking to an artisan on his craftsmanship. So sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Expert Insight, and today, as I said earlier, we are discussing the intricacies of home insurance. There's no gainsaying that Nigerians are apathetic towards the insurance industry. This distrust has severely militated against the growth of the industry. Some of the reasons that's further eroded the confidence of Nigerians in the industry include non-payment of claims, poverty, lack of sensitization by the insurance industry, ignorance, doubts as to the integrity of the insurance practitioners, and weak fiscal policies by the government. Today, I am joined by Dr. Ayodeji Johnson. He's a seasoned professional in the insurance industry with a proven track record of over 24 years. He has worked with companies such as Guinea Insurance PLC, the Nigerian General Insurance Company Limited, ICO Insurance, Mutual Benefits Insurance, ARM Life PLC, and J. Akin George & Co., amongst many other firms. Thank you very much for coming, Dr. Ayodeji Johnson.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. And before we start, what are you looking at for the insurance industry this year? Any hope of growth and
significant growth? Yes, because we've done a lot of sensitization. We've tried our best to make sure a lot of people understand the rudiments of insurance, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here, to educate people. So one of the things that we as insurance brokers and the insurance industry as a whole, one of the things we've tried to do is to make sure everybody understands the intricacies of insurance. And so based on that, people can enjoy the benefits accruable from insurance.
So to start with, home insurance, we're going to, limit our talk today to home insurance.
Great.
So what are the different kinds of coverage? Because I'm sure that it can't be one size fit all.
Yeah.
It has to be local to you, what your needs are. So what but there has to be basics, definitely. Yeah. So what are the kinds of coverages that you have in home insurance?
Basically, there are two main policies for homeowners, for the buildings. Now, one is the householder policy, and the other is a house owner. As the name implies, the house owner policy is for the owner of the house. So for example, I have a 5-bedroom duplex in Lekki that I'm letting out to people. I would insure the building, fence, gates, everything, because I'm the owner of the house, against everything that could happen that could destroy that. Now, on the other hand, the householder policy, as the name implies, is for a tenant or someone that is living in a place that is not his. So he's insuring the contents inside the building that are specifically his. So what a lot of people should do is, when they're renting out their houses, they should take up insurance.
I was going to say that are landlords aware of this requirement?
Well, most landlords are, especially those that have bought those houses using loans. The banks will compel them to insure, irrespective of what the tenants will do. So basically, we should, as home owners, insure our properties, whether we're letting it out or anything. Now, one of the reasons why we need to do that is to safeguard our investments. Now, a tenant can be careless. It might not even be the tenant. It might be the nanny, it might be anyone that is careless with fire or anything, matches or anything, and that brings the whole house down. It's not the intention of the tenant to burn down the house. So basically, once the house owner has a policy on that building, he's covered, irrespective of whether it's tenanted or something. And the same thing goes to the tenants. It's possible that the house does not go on fire and armed robbers break in and steal his stuff. This is also covered under the householder's policy.
Okay, so I was going to ask, when you have a home insurance policy, what does it include and what does it exclude?
Okay, so your home insurance policy covers the building, covers everything from fence to all the accessories that you have in the house.
What do you mean accessories?
So from the gates to the gatehouse to the fence. So for example, and then there are extensions. So there's flood extension, especially for the Lekki people. Now, if you have a homeowner's policy and you also have an extension to cover flood damage, if anything happens, like the water in Barbage overran its shores and destroyed things, for everybody that had a policy on their building, I'm sure they were compensated because it's part of flood damage. That's an extension to homeowner's policy. It could be a burst pipe, it could be anything. So it's always necessary for you to have a comprehensive homeowner's policy, not just the basic. Because yes, the basic will cover the few things that you have, but the extensions will cover all the other perils that could happen that most people might not think about.
So what about the television in my home, the furniture in my home, my gold?
That comes under the householder's policy, because the landlord has given you your house. Okay, so now,
so what if I buy my property?
Good. Now, that's what I was going to say. If you're the owner of the house, you're just doing a comprehensive insurance policy, house owner's policy. Now, your house owner's policy will cover the building and would also cover the contents because you are residing there. So you would give a list of all the items in your house that you think are worth to be insured. Everything has to be listed. So it's not a case of, oh, I've listed the most expensive things, and then when something happens to the least expensive things, you want insurance companies to come and pay. They won't. So these are the things that we need to understand when we take up a policy. One of the issues, one of the problems the insuring public have is the fact that they refuse to read their policies. They just see it as a booklet. As soon as you give it to them, they drop it somewhere. And that's it. So,
and because I know in insurance, the devil is in the details. I know for sure, though I'm not an insurance lawyer, but I know that. So we're going for a quick break. We'll be back. Please stay with us. We'll be going for a short break and we'll be back.
Space and style.
Thank you for staying with us, and I still have Dr. Ayodeji Johnson in the studio with me, and we're still talking about home insurance in Nigeria. So thank you for staying with us, Dr. Ayodeji Johnson. So I was looking at premiums. It's an issue in insurance.
Okay.
How is it calculated? How do you arrive at the premiums? And by extension, what happens when I fail to pay probably once or twice? And one of those perils happens. What happens? So take the first part first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So premium calculation is not like when you go to the market to price pepper and onions. Now, there are written guides to all of this. Like I mentioned before, you're going to give a list of everything you have in your house. So there's a proposal form that needs to be filled. There is a contents page where you have the list of every item you need insured. Now, when you have this, the amounts are written, corresponding amounts are written in front of each item. That brings you to a total sum insured of everything you want to do. Now, each of this will be rated differently. For example, under the package policy, you'd have all risk policy that takes care of your generators, things like that, electronics, and then there are also the fire and burglary that cover the fire aspect that covers every item inside the house that can be damaged by fire. And then there's a burglary aspect that covers items that can be stolen. The house cannot be stolen. So it won't be insured against thefts. But every other thing that can be stolen will be itemized, and then everything is rated. So there are different sections to this, and each of them are rated differently.
So that's how you sum it up.
Yes, that's how you sum it up to get premium payment. So like I said, there's a rating guide for all of this. So nobody just manufactures all of these things. But I must also say quickly that for you, if you have a fire extinguisher in your house, you get discounts. For everything that you have that mitigates a loss in your house, you get discount. So for example, if you have a CCTV 2 installed at your cost, that reduces your premium. So these are some of the things that helps mitigate this risk. And based on that, it also reduces your premium.
Okay. So what if I'm a regular premium payer?
Yeah.
And at a point, probably because I fall on bad times, I miss my payment for probably once or twice, and the peril happens. How do we go about it?
There's no way you can miss your payment, your premium payment once or twice. It's an annual contract.
Okay, what if it's delayed?
Okay, so in it being delayed, you need to have spoken with your insurance company. Now, you can as well say, I'm facing financial difficulties now. I still want to keep insuring. Instead of me paying 1 year premium now, I want to pay 3 months to at least have enough cover, to have everything covered within that 3 months. Now, we're hoping that inside that 3 months, your situation gets better and you can pay more. But the truth of the matter is, it's a cash and carry business. There is no, I've been paying for 10 years, I fell on bad times, I didn't pay this year, insurance must pay. No, it doesn't happen like that.
So if I delay my payment without speaking prior to my insurance, and the peril happens at the nick of time, I'm not catered for.
Your contract has expired.
No,
It's a 1 year contract.
Well, that's part of the problems why people are apathetic towards the insurance company. I think it's a bit too harsh. For someone who has been paying for 10 years, I think there should be a bit of a compromise in such a situation. What do you think?
Like I said, you need to speak with your insurance. You don't take it for granted that, oh, I've paid for 10 years, there's a delay here and there. They need to be notified. There has to be a plan for payments. So for example, you come to them and say, I need this covered, especially when you use registered insurance brokers. You come to them and you say, oh, I'm expecting some payments on the 15th. Is there a way I can be covered for this period until I pay? These are put into consideration. But when you don't talk to the brokers, when you don't talk to the insurance company, and you sit down in your house expecting, I've been paying all of this while, if I don't pay now,
even for a month,
even for
a
2
day.
days, even for a day, you've actually said it. Because if your contract expires today, that's the expiration of it. There's no way you can hold an insurance company liable to something that's it's already out of contract. So I'm urging everybody, do not delay these payments. When there's a need for you to speak, when there's a delay, please speak with your brokers, speak with your underwriters. They will come to your aid. But we don't want a situation whereby everybody believes that, oh, if I don't pay for 1 or 2 months, that's the end. I need to quickly digress. In life insurance, there's a 30-day, 15-day window of when you can pay your premiums, because that's a contract that is an ongoing thing. It's not an annual contract.
Because it is life. Okay.
Yes.
We're running out of time. How can I make a successful claim? Because that is always the issue when time for the payout of the claims. So if there's a prospective insurance policy person here who is listening to us, and these are part of things that will put their minds at rest.
Okay.
What should they be looking at when it's time to make a claim? Because as I said earlier, the devil is in the details when it comes to insurance.
Not exactly. That's what everybody keeps saying.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter is, there are contracts. You need to uphold that contract. Now, for you to make a claim, I'm not going to say successful or anything. Any valid claim, you need to be honest about it. You need to be very, very honest about it. Now, you're filling your claim forms. You need to state categorically what and what how it happened, what was damaged, especially if there's a fire or if there's a theft or something. It's not for you to have sold a TV a week ago and then armed robbers come to your house today and then you're including that TV you sold into the claims processes.
How do you determine dishonesty?
Okay, so there are loss adjusters that check out all of these things. The list of items that you put, replacement items and everything, they check to know what it is. Now, what a lot of people also frown against the fact that they want to be repositioned back to the level they were when they were insuring, forgetting that as soon as you buy a building, as soon as you start living in that building, it's becoming depreciated.
So inflation is not catered for?
No, it won't be catered for unless you had put it in from day one. So if I want to do insurance today, the value of this building as at today is 150 million. The future value in the next 6 months, 1 year, based on what is in the neighborhood, is 200 million. There's nobody saying you shouldn't insure for 200 million. So that at the time when a claim occurs, even if the building is depreciated or something, by the time they calculate average and everything, you're still positioned back to where you were originally.
Thank you for coming. But of course, we can't finish this discussion in one episode, so we hope you come back next week so we can conclude this discussion.
I'll be here next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us. We have come to the end of the segment, but of course, not the end of the discussion. Next week, we're going to extend the discussion, and we hope Dr. Ayodeji Johnson will be with us. Next is the design tip of the week. Hello and welcome to this segment. This is the interior decor segment. This is the segment where we talk to you about how to transform your spaces on a budget. And today I have with me Edna Ewudagi. And she was here the last time. We enjoyed it thoroughly and she has given us her time again this week. Thank you very much, Edna, for coming again.
Thank you so much for having me once again.
So today we'll be talking about how to choose the right colors for your spaces. So,
okay, choosing the right color for your space can be very challenging for most. Even we as interior designers sometimes struggle with it. So, but it is very essential that you pick the right color for your space. So I've been to a lot of homes or offices whereby people have like really bold color on their wall surrounding them, and it's not so much of a good thing to have that. It's always advisable to have like a bright color on your wall. Yeah.
You said bold color and bright. Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a difference. When you talk about bold colors, those are like statement colors, like red, colors that are very, very sharp, like red, like pink, like gold. Orange, yes. So those are very bold colors. It's not very advisable to have them like on the four corners of your wall. But some interior designers have used them, but they can only be done professionally. Like it is very challenging to have that kind of space and still be able to design them properly, except you're a professional. So for the purpose of this our conversation, I would say that having like a bold color, which are those how do I put it, like the red, those sharp colors, should only be like in one side of your space.
Because I was going to say that in my living space I have orange.
Yeah,
but it's just one side.
Yes,
I was kind of like, but there's nothing wrong with having orange in your home.
No, it's not. There's nothing wrong. It should just be like one side of the wall. So it should be like an accent color to your space, and it's going to make it pop. So those are the things you need to consider when picking the right colors. Then a lot of designers or people, you love to use whites. I personally love to use white. If I'm not using white, then I have to pick a bright color. It doesn't mean that I can't use a dark color, but I have to be able to use it properly so that it can come out very nice. These days, a lot of people use black. Yeah.
In a living space.
And it's really nice.
But
when done properly. That is the key word. When done properly. So when you use a white paint on your wall, it's very nice because white allows you to throw in a lot of colors. When you have a white, so that's the trick. When you have a white wall, you can throw in pink, you can throw in gold into your space. It makes the living area very playful. Like if I had like an orange wall, it is going to restrict the colors that I'm going to use on my space. Do you get the trick?
Where I have it as an accent, I said, and I have white in every other area.
Okay, so then what about your throw pillows?
I don't have throw pillows.
So that is what we're talking about. So that is
have you considered people that have children?
Okay. What has that?
I mean the white color that you were talking about.
Okay, the white color. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Juggle that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, white is really nice, but you do not have to use white. There are other bright colors that are not white, and you can still use. There is beige. There is blush. There are numerous bright colors that you can use when considering your kids in a space. So it doesn't have to be like a dark color. Oh, because you have kids, you have to use black. Oh, come on.
There's a difference between bold and bright colors.
Yeah.
So what are the examples of bright colors? Because I don't see any difference.
Okay, so there are lots of bright colors that you can use. You have beige, you have peach, you have white, you have off-white, lilac. You know, those bright colors that are not so bold, not so dark, you know, that we just make your space come alive. Just really calm colors.
Then are there colors that appear to make your area, your living area or whatever, your space look bigger?
Certainly, those are the bright colors. Bright colors tend to make your space look bigger. Dark colors tend to make your space look smaller. So if you have a very large space and you want it to come together, then you use a dark color.
Okay. Another thought that I had was ceilings.
Okay.
Quite a number of ceilings are just painted white. But what's your opinion? Do you think you can get a bit creative with the colors of the ceilings?
Yes. The reason why most people use white is because when you use white on your ceiling, it tends to like make it bigger, like it's like an extension. Do you get? It doesn't look like the ceiling is so close to your head. But if you have like a colored ceiling, it brings it too close to you. So it's always advisable to use white. But when done properly, you can have other colors you can have different colors of ceiling, especially when it's a very high ceiling. When your ceiling is high, then you can use whatever color you want to use as long as you are doing it right. But if your ceiling is the normal ceiling or it's really low, by all means, please use white.
Stick to the universal color of white.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Edna, for your time. I really enjoyed myself, and I hope we've been able to learn one or two things about choosing the right color for your space. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Space and style.
On the Artisan Spot today, as usual, we've gone to town and we've found you a very fantastic artisan who is going to discuss with us his craftsmanship.
Ti wà ní ẹnu iṣẹ́ yẹn sí ọgbọ̀n ọdún. Ó wà fẹ́ ti wà torí situation iṣẹ́ wa yẹn sì. Bí dọ́là yẹn ṣe ń rise ni owó orin yẹn náà wọ́n máa ń gbé owó ẹ̀ sókè. So whatever ń sìn, assuming irin tá à ń rà ní bí 1,000 tí dọ́là bá rise, wọ́n lè ta fún wa 3,000. So àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń gbéjẹ́ fún wa náà ọ̀hún ní fẹ́ fowó kù. Ṣùgbọ́n míì kan ti mọ̀ wá pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ yẹn. Kò sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ju pé káwa náà tẹ́ wọn lọ́rùn. Challenges pọ̀ gan-an nídìí iṣẹ́ yìí. Ìgbà míì wà tó yẹ pé iná máa disturb wa. A ní rí iná ṣiṣẹ́. Generator tá a dẹ̀ ń lò kò powerful bí iná. Ó ti yé yín. So àwọn challenges tá a máa ń face, tá a máa ń dojú kọ lórí iṣẹ́ nìyẹn. So táwọn oníṣẹ́ bá dẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ fẹ́ gbéṣẹ́, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ju pé ká wá means láti fi parí iṣẹ́ yẹn. Iná generator náà la lè lò. Assuming tó bí èmi ṣe wà yìí, máa ń ní program fún iṣẹ́ mi. So mo lè níṣẹ́ 3 4. So àwọn ọmọ tó ń bá mi iṣẹ́ wà. Tó yẹ pé tí bá ti níṣẹ́ tó pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, màá kọ̀ pé wọ́n wá. Àjọ handle iṣẹ́ yẹn. So lórí iṣẹ́ yìí náà, àwọn ọmọ wà tó yẹ pé àti kọ́ iṣẹ́. Tó yẹ pé èmi wà nù wọn tó yẹ pé ó ń lọ school. ó ń ti school tó bá close ní school á wá síbí á wá kọ́ṣẹ́ yẹn so ó fi ń ṣe part time so along the line ó dẹ̀ náà ti wà láyà rẹ̀ client wà tó yẹ pé èmi wà ó lè lóun fẹ́ gba iṣẹ́ òun níbi ọ̀sẹ̀ kan tíṣẹ́ mi dẹ̀ ti wà lọ́wọ́ mi so mo lè fún grace fún ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì tó bá lè afford ẹ̀ so I go ahead so èmi ìtọ́ dẹ̀ ti mọṣẹ́ wa so kò ní doubt á ní òkè kò sí problem wọn á ṣe so láti bẹ̀ lọ iṣẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n lè má tó time tèmi wá dá fún yẹn á gbé àwọn irin tá à ń lò àwọn irin quality so àwọn nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ fi ń ṣe ó máa ń last débi pé ẹlòmíì gan tó máa padà fún yàn ni ìyàtọ̀ tó wà nù fọ́nrìn àti local nìyẹn fọ́nrìn bóyá wà ẹ́ kò ń strong ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n máa ń wo finishing tiwa dẹ̀rẹ̀ finishing tiwa ó lè fara pẹ́ díẹ̀ ni ṣùgbọ́n tiwa ó máa ń strong ju ti wọn lọ ìyàtọ̀ tó wà nù finishing fọ́nrìn ni pé material tiwa tó ń mòdì kíní yẹn fún wọn lọ́hùn tiwa ń bí ọwọ́ làwa fi ń ṣe irú ìsìn ìgbà táwa fi kọ́ṣẹ́ tiwa ń gbà yẹn àwa lo 6 years a tún fi 6 years sin ọ̀gá ṣùgbọ́n ń sìn láyé òde ni àwọn ọmọ tó ń kọ́ṣẹ́ ń sìn grace wọn ò ju one and a half years 2 years so àwọn náà ti wà àwọn náà ti gbàyàn dá àwọn náà ti máa dáṣẹ́ ara wọn ṣe nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yìí gbà yẹn mo wà ní bíi 19 years mo fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yìí nígbà yẹn so ẹ̀kọ́ rí méjì mo kàn rí lórí iṣẹ́ yìí ni pé ìgbà yẹn náà mo fẹ́ kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òbí tó bí mi wọ́n ti ríran jù mí lọ so àwọn ní iṣẹ́ yìí ló máa kọ́ along the line bọ́ọ̀lù ó wù mí kí n gbá ṣùgbọ́n mi ò fẹ́ tàpá sí òfin àwọn òbí mi ni mo ṣe ìyànṣẹ́ ìláyò ìgbà tèmi náà dẹ̀ wá wọnú ẹ̀ wọ́n á rí pé iṣẹ́ tó rọrùn ni ṣe rí iṣẹ́ wẹ́dà ọ̀pá àti obìnrin ṣe ráwa ọkùnrin wa gan ládé ní ayé ìsìn ọ̀hún fẹ́ kọ́ṣẹ́ wẹ́dà torí iṣẹ́ tó le ni iṣẹ́ ojú ni ó ti yẹ nǹkan tó máa fi ń sá fúnṣẹ́ yẹn nìyẹn.
Space and style.
Well, this is all we can take for the show this week. We hope you enjoyed the show and you learned a lot about home insurance. Join us next week for the concluding episode of the discussion at the same time on the same channel. Bye for now.